KTLA's John Fenolio is watching all of these developments from our news center. John.
Well, Christina, Rick, the Mueller report confirms what U.S. intelligence officials have been saying since 2016, that the Russians attacked our elections. Now it appears the U.S. is preparing to fight back, not at the polls, but at power plants.
It's being described as an unprecedented cyber incursion into Russia's critical infrastructure.
The main reason is that Russia, of course, has been in the U.S. power grid for many, many years.
The New York Times reports the U.S. has placed potentially crippling malware inside Russia's electric power grid at a depth that has never been attempted before. A warning to the Kremlin, the U.S. is ready to strike should a significant conflict arise between the two superpowers.
In cyberspace, you can begin to do things that prepare the battlefield, much as you would if you were patrolling the Persian Gulf or sending air flights over Russia.
The Times says the cyber attack was carried out without President Trump's knowledge. The paper citing two Trump administration officials who said they believe the president had not been briefed about the operation.
We know from other reporting in other cases that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the intelligence officials, and others are reluctant to give very in-depth briefings to the president on issues related to Russia for the uncertainty about how he'll react.
And the president is reacting, blasting the Times on Twitter, insisting the reporting is false. Do you believe the failing New York Times just did a story stating the U.S. is substantially increasing cyber attacks on Russia? This is a virtual act of treason by a once great paper so desperate for a story, any story, even if bad for our country. But as the Times points out, the president wouldn't necessarily have to be informed after he himself approved new legal authorities in the military authorization bill passed by Congress last year, allowing certain high-ranking defense officials to carry out some actions without briefing the president. While the details of the cyber operation remain classified, the question remains, would the U.S. actually turn off Russia's power or vice versa? And at what cost?
The use of these tools can be lethal. If you deny power to, say, a couple 100,000 or 1 million Russians, you're talking about the possibility of creating traffic accidents, turning off electrical equipment that people depend on to stay alive in hospitals and at home.
Officials with the National Security Council declined to answer questions about the report. However, they say they have no national security concerns about the details in it. Live in the newsroom, I'm John Fenolio. I'll send it back to you.
All right, John, we thank you for that.